You don't have any. And this is where credit comes into full play, momentum, and understanding. Knowing your rights, building that foundation that's going to allow for you to, again, erect those walls, put that top on, and live just as comfortably as you need, regardless of the political situation, regardless of the head of the snake that might be in the White House, regardless of the courts, regardless of Congress, regardless of what might be going on in that household. If you focus, put your attention into these understandings, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a win-win scenario. It's going to be a win-win. And as I've always said it, my job is credit. My enthusiasm, my fanaticism is credit. That's what I love. That's what I crave. I don't need to do the other things because I have equally passionate, loving, caring individuals who I can then take you from and slide you right on over into the hands of those exceptional understandings of their area of expertise. And that's what you want. I don't want to be the jack of all trades in all of it because it's going to be overwhelming. I don't want to do that. I never wanted to do that anyway. I wanted to be specific to a certain understanding, dive dead into it, give it every bit that I can possibly give it, and that's what I'm doing, giving it every bit that I can possibly give it. And that's why we're here today. We're getting out of our way. We're focusing on the next 4 months. We got the Thanksgiving season coming up. Well, we got the spooky, scary season first. Then we got the Thanksgiving season. Then we got those gifting seasons. And in between those seasons, I'm almost certain there's a lot of birthdays that are going to be popping up too. So what are you going to do with those resources? What are you going to do with it? Do you want more stuff? Because I'm almost certain that, again, kids that I've been asking, people that I've been asking, they're all saying, no, I really don't need more stuff. I really don't need more stuff. What, you're going to go and upgrade Apple and give them more of your hard-earned? Well, I don't think you should. If your current device is doing what it needs to be doing, then I guess it's fine. What are you going to do? You're going to go out and buy more computers, more big screen TVs? What are you going to do with that bread? You're complaining that things are already, let me rephrase that because I don't like using that word. That's a negative word, not complaining. You're voicing your concerns that things are already so expensive, and you're wondering when the government is going to push back, which that's what they should be doing. They should be pushing back. They should be sending out regulators and individuals who can go into these stores and hit them with hefty fines because they're jacking these prices up for what reason? Oh, they don't think we know, but again, we do. But my job is to help you. It's not to create more problems. You don't go into the stores talk about, oh, well, Mr. Glover said you should lower them prices. No, that's not what Mr. Glover said. Mr. Glover said that we should have regulators who can go from ShopRite to Food Town to Foodland to all of these grocery understandings, and they can do as I would get done when I was in these grocery understandings. Again, you're talking to somebody who's been in corporate America for 30 years. I have more experience than probably a lot of people. I'm not just saying that because I want to boost my status. It's the pure fact. It's the pure fact. My resume is about yay long with just the opportunities that have been afforded to me and the experience that comes with that. Again, I made sure that I went in and made money for companies. Not just sat there and kicked my feet up. Nope. I made money. The problem that I had with corporate America is that they were cashing in on all of our hard work, but weren't giving nothing out. Nothing. So that's not a win-win type of scenario. So I had to bounce. I had to leave. Let's dive into it, folks. Let's talk about that state of our credit. Despite an unprecedented 18 months since the pandemic was in full force and many Americans were sent home, financial wellness continued to be on and up and up. Consumers continue to manage credit well, and average credit scores climbed 7 points since 2020 to some 695, the highest point in more than 13 years. So the state of our credit overall looks good. So again, congratulations, congratulations. We're still doing what we need to be doing, but let's go back there. The overall population still isn't where they need to be. If your credit score is at that 695, again, that's probably going to suit you well, but you're looking at probably 15, 18, all depends on who you go to, as interest. That's not what we want. Why do I want to have a 695 and paying some 18 interest percentage points on we're going to talk credit cards and vehicles. Clearly not on your home loans. Those are larger purchases. But again, why would you want to pay 18% on a car, 20% on a car? For what reason? That don't make any sense. So even though we've made some improvements, or the state of our credit might be improving, there's still a lot of circumstances where it's not where it needs to be. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to address the state. If you are under this 695, we need to be talking. You need to be calling me. You need to be DMing me. You need to be sending me an email. You need to be literally on the phone addressing this concern. Because if you do, I'm here to tell you, you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And that's what I want. I want all of our people to be fine. I'm just getting a message here, and they're asking me if I'm doing my show, and I said, yes, I am. They want to join in on the show, so let me go ahead and send this individual a invite so we can bring them in. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is so awesome. And this is the beauty of technology. It allows you to address everything going on. This is so awesome. Thank you so much. And that's my one person. I got one person in. They're now getting ready to view. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So again, we know where we are as a whole because I just gave you the outlook. I just gave you the understanding. So we know where we are as a whole. Can we improve upon that? We must. So let's look at some state trends. The states with the highest and lowest average credit scores remain unchanged. So that means we're still not in these states where highest and lowest. Mississippi. I'm so disappointed in the leadership of Mississippi that it's almost unbelievable. Brett Favre, we know about that scandal that's going on there and all of the, again, prominent, privileged individuals who keep stealing from the underserved communities. It's abysmal. It's abysmal. It's sad. And look at their credit score, 666. Well, that's the mark of the beast. But again, shouldn't be there, should it? Why are poor people always the burden bearers of the malfeasance of others? It's unacceptable. But now I'm putting the onus back on Kentuckians or Mississippians to get with it. Get it together. Do it today. Stop waiting. Do it now. Put your priorities in order and start focusing now on how to improve your credit. Okay, that's the foundation. I'm telling you how to improve that. No matter what your income situation is, if you focus on improving that credit, I'm telling you now, it will change your outlook on what is to come. Give me 4 months. That's all I'm asking. Give me 4 months. And I promise you, with full guarantee, full money back if that's the issue. But as I told you before, learning shows here. You want to learn? Stay tuned. You want to see me after to earn? Okay, and we can talk about that after the show. But right here, this is all learning opportunities. So tune in every Tuesday and get that information because I'm telling you, you apply that much, you'll be fine. You apply that much of this amount of information that I'm going to be giving you, and you will be fine. All right? So Mississippi, we're looking at the highest and lowest average scores, 726, held by Minnesota. All right, Minnesota, looking good there. But 726 is going to put you somewhere around the 9, maybe even 8, depending on, again, which financial institution you go to. But you might slide into those low double-digit numbers. Not where you want to be. You don't want to be giving anyone more for something that all you got to do is improve it, bring it up. There could be little minute understandings within your credit profile that all you got to do is bring them up. That's all you got to do. Bring them up. Because if you bring them up a little bit, maybe we might be able to do some authorized trade lines. That's a whole new segment that I'm going to be talking about in the upcoming weeks. It's a brilliant piece or additive to the credit understanding that's going to only improve your finances, regardless of your income, people. I'm telling you, what I know about this credit game and what I know about how it applies to your day-to-day will shock and amaze you. And all I did was dive into something because I was concerned myself. Why is this happening over and over and over and over? Your state has an impact. Your address has an impact. There's so much that we've allowed Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian to do to us, and we're not even challenging them in the least bit. We're leaving it up to the hands of, oh, it's going to fix itself. Never going to happen. We're leaving it in the hands of the CFPB. Well, as much as I like the CFPB, they equally get it wrong too. All right? These institutions who claim that they're here for the people aren't really, truly here for the people. So the people have to be there to make sure that these entities are doing what they're supposed to be doing. We already know we can't trust our financial institutions. Bottom line, we already know that we cannot trust our employers to a certain degree. They won't even make sure that we have all of the protections of employment. Again, we have to give our employers the benefit of a doubt. You know, they might not be making as much. They might not last year, this year, COVID, all of the understandings. Why did they prepare better? Why did they put things to the side? Why did they just make it part of the program to begin with? Profiteering. Again, one of those reasons why I had to separate, step away. We know that we can't put full faith and trust in our government due to all of the chaos that's going on. Republicans, Democrats, now we got MAGA Republicans. This is insanity. But I'm telling you right now, no matter what goes on in this country, if you focus on your finances, if you make sure that this becomes a generational wealth understanding, guess what you're going to do? You're going to set yourself up for success. And I'm here to tell you, again, do the smallest amounts. Call me. That's the first thing. Just pick up the phone. Call me. Second thing, if you can't call me, DM me. There's social media sites, and I'm on all of them just about. But DM me. You can't DM me. Send me an email. LeverageCreditRecovery@gmail.com. LeverageCreditRecovery@gmail.com. So we're back into, so we said Minnesota has 726. Mississippi is hanging in there with 666. New Jersey has the highest number of credit cards and retail cards at 3.3. So New Jersey, respectively, there's a 2.4, a 2.54. So that means they're somewhere, this is what the average consumers in those states have as far as credit cards. New Jersey is sitting at 3.37. So that means they have 3 credit cards. They still have other credit products, but with the understanding that we have here, it is just reporting the 3 credit cards. So 3.37 and 2.54 respectively. And Alaska has the highest credit card debt. Oh, wow. Alaskans, what y'all doing up there? Y'all got that much? I know it's kind of lonely in Alaska, but really, y'all carrying that much debt? Ooh, that's a little bit scary. At $7,089, and the average of, again, encompassing the entire United States of $5,525. And Texas has the highest retail debt. All right now, as cheap as it is in Texas, y'all still spending. You got the highest retail debt at $2,248. An average, again, the average overall in the United States is $1,888. So again, these numbers, they might be saying something. They might be moving the needle for you. They definitely have moved the needle for me. I know that we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work. 695, as I stated here, that's not going to cut it for you. It's not going to cut it. 666, definitely not going to cut it. 726, again, this is one of the highest in the nation, but 726 is still not going to yield you, again, that low. You see those commercials just like I see those commercials. Qualified leasees. Well, what's a qualified leasee? Every time I went into the stores, or not the stores, but every time I went into the auto car dealerships. Every time I've gone in there, they can never tell me what is a qualified leasee. You always got to run your credit. You got to run your credit. Well, you can't even tell me what your advertisements is putting out there. What's qualified leasee? What's the average that I'm going to get? Was 1%, 2%? You tell me that's what I need. I'll go out and become a qualified leasee. But don't have me sitting in your showrooms for 5 and 6 hours feeding me with popcorn and coffee just so I can settle on something that I don't even want. We're preparing you for the upcoming year of what's going to be. And we do not know, but I'm predicting myself. Again, I'm talking to an audience, not what these pundits talk to. I want to talk to everybody, but these pundits talk to different income brackets. You know who I'm talking to? I'm talking to the working poor. Blacks, Hispanics, Middle Eastern, whites, Asians. I'm talking to the working poor. I'm talking to the middle class. Blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics, Middle Eastern. I'm talking to those two categories because nobody's really talking to you. They're talking at you or they're talking about you. I'm talking to you, and I need you to respond accordingly. Because if you do, I'm telling you, we're going to be able to improve your lives significantly through the means of how we address credit, how we take on the bigs, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, how we make them understand that we're not going to be your doormats any longer, that we're not going to be your coffer fillers any longer. We're going to take back our ownership of our dollar. Think about it. African Americans, if we were to pull back just a smidgen, we'd probably send the economy in a whirlwind, but we don't know how to slow it down. We don't know how to stop. We would have thought COVID would have stopped us. No. We made jokes about it. Well, I eat pork, and since I eat a lot of pork, I'm not going to get COVID. Well, that didn't work out too well, did it now? Okay, we got to stop with this foolishness, and we got to start focusing on fulfilling our understandings. And those understandings start with balance. They start with a great understanding of how do I balance my life effectively so that I can make the most out of every opportunity. It's not that hard. It's actually pretty simple. And the first step is to show up. Be there. Because if you show up, if you're there, guess what happens? You win. You walk away. If you show up and you are there, you get to walk away with the understanding. You get to do what is necessary. You get to take it to that next level if you want. And that's what we're doing today. We're creating an understanding for you that's going to allow for you to get to that next level. All right? I'm going to jump to the next slide, but I'm going to come back to this one because I want to talk about, never mind. I'm going to stay right here, the milestones. All right? So in 2021, the state of your credit, we're going from 19, 20 to 21. We know we're in 22, but that's all right. We're going to look at some of these averages. All right? Vantage score. So you got a FICO score, you got a Vantage score, you got like 23 different scores. Okay, you got 23 different scores. And it's kind of sad that, again, none of them tell you what kind of score you have and so forth and so on. All right, but you got to remember, categories fall into your scores. You have a credit card category. Those are revolving. You have an installment category. That's something that stays permanent. The prices of it stays permanent. You got an auto category. So there's multiple things that tie into your credit score. And if you don't understand them, you're going to set yourself, again, up for failure. The medium Vantage score, as you can see, again, they look pretty good. They've been increasing. We like that. So the average credit card that individuals have, 3 roughly. So you've reduced the credit cards, but you're carrying a lot of balance on those 3 credit cards. That's kind of a bit. That's roughly about $2,000 and some change per. But you've been reducing it, which looks great. But again, this is the overall average. That means that a lot of you are nowhere near this. You're nowhere near this. And I need you to understand how important it's going to be for your bottom line that you improve these numbers. mainly your score numbers. But if your data is off, and this is what's so brilliant about Tony and Mr. Banks today, they were talking about data. That's my business, focusing on data. If your data is incorrect, guess what's going to be incorrect? Clearly, your score is going to be incorrect. So that's why it's important to understand these basics. Basics, basics, basic, basic, basics. Now look at this revolving utilization rate. Too high. Too high. 23 is where we need to be, but again, based on your credit score. All right, if you're in the 500s, 600s, you definitely need to stay around here because you need to be giving back money to the borrowers. You need to be making sure that all of your bills are within a cycle range of 1 to 3 days. You want to make sure everything is being paid within 1 to 3. You don't want your bills spread out over the entire month. You want to renegotiate all of your contractual understandings with the financial institutions that you have so that you can line them up between 1, 3 days, 5 days at the most. What? Oh, I can't call them or they won't allow for me. Excuse me. Who do you think you're talking to? Yes, they will. Okay? You got to just reach out. For any institution to tell you that they're not going to take your money because you want to change your date, call me. That's all you got to do. Pick up the phone, call me. Call me. You're their consumer. You're their partner. And anytime a partner doesn't want to comply, then I don't think you have a partner. All right? Get into the understanding that these individuals work with you. You don't work for them. And if they can't comply, then I think you might have to seek out another understanding. And trust me when I tell you, when people start telling them, well, I'm going to go somewhere else. Oh, we don't care. Do it. Go. Just go. Watch droves of individuals start leaving these financial institutions. Watch it. Just like the massive resignation happened, we need to have a massive disconnection from financial institutions that are not doing absolutely diddly for us. It's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to do. We need to put them in the hot seat as they go to Congress and every single year. Oh, we're going to improve. We're going to get better. We're going to have new regulations. Nope, doesn't happen. How many times have I, again, addressed what Congress is doing when it comes to Equifax, TransUnion, Experian? They're fining them. They're giving them a slight little fee. And then of that finding and fee, what do? They turn right back around and create even more egregious understandings when it comes to taking care of us. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. It's got to stop now. And the earlier we address it, the earlier we make it a point to stop it, we'll stop it. We will stop it. So again, utilization rate is an important piece. Got to bring it down. If I max it out, I got to bring it back down. I can't just pay the minimum. I can't just pay half of it. I have to do this on a regular cycle that I have to bring it down. I have to bring it down on a monthly basis. These are cycles. If you are messing up your cycle, you're never going to see your score go in the manner in which it should, which is an upwards trajectory. If you're seeing small increments of increases, that means that you're not doing something properly. If you've been on the 700 and you're going back and forth between 700 and 680, and sometimes you see 690, and then you get to 704, and then you're back to 690, there's a problem there. There's a problem there. Problem, huge problem. And all you got to do is talk to me. I'll set it straight. Make sure that you're on point with making sure that this is going in an upwards trajectory all the time. You got to get on the program. It's the program. It's an understanding. All right. So there's a lot of important information here. Average credit card debt, as you can see, at 1887 was the national average. Again, average non-mortgage debt, woo, that is pretty impressive. 25,000 average mortgage debt. I wish, not here in Yonkers, New York. I wish I could find something on the 210, 215, 229 range. I certainly do. Everything up here, if you're getting something like that, it's just a lot. You got a box on the lot, but it's not it's not a house. It's just a lot. Yeah, New York State is very expensive. It's very expensive. California, same thing, very expensive. But this average of 210, 215, and 229, yeah, the prices have gone up, which we already know. Average auto loans equally are, again, not too shabby. That works for, again, for me, that's a nice range of where an auto loan should be. Anything higher than that, again, you're getting taken advantage of. The average 30, 59 days delinquent, not too bad. Not too bad. 2.3 consumers, that's okay. That's not too bad. But you don't want to be delinquent. You don't want to miss a payment. You want to pay on time, and you want to bring down that utilization. Every single cycle for every single one of your credit obligations, you want to make sure that you're doing that. You don't want to miss payments. That 3.8 back in 2019 was a little bit scary, but that 2.3 brought it down some, but we still need to improve upon that understanding. All right, we don't want to even be making any late payments. 60 days and 90 days, all right, that's definitely improved. But after that 90, that's where it falls into that area of where it should not be. 2019, good Lord. We had that many people going into delinquencies. That's pretty alarming, but we've dropped it down some. Overall average, but I'm sure it's probably a lot higher than that. So there's still work that we have to do. But these are the milestones. These are the improvements. So everybody give yourself a round of applause, pat on the back. If you have improved there, great. But if you haven't, we need to talk. And if you are still in some of these areas, we still need to talk because there's opportunities available for you. All right, so who are the bigs? Who are these people causing all this problem in our country? Who? Big grocery. Oh, yeah, we on to you, big grocery, jacking up your prices. Regulators need to just go into these big grocery stores and do what? Audit. How does a man like me know anything about auditing? How? How do I know about auditing? Oh, I know about auditing because that's what I used to do. I used to have the price individuals come in to make sure that we're pricing everything properly. And if you fail to audit, you are going to hear it from the district. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear it from your district manager. And if you fail too many, bye, Felicia. Okay, that's all they have to do. Regulators, you're looking to hire people who can go into these stores and scan these prices and look at their list and say, well, wait a minute. According to what we have here, this is not supposed to be that high. So why is it that high? Oh, and then hit them with hefty fines. Fines that cannot be turned around and written off. This is the key to putting these businesses back on a track that's going to allow for us to capitalize equally. You cannot fine them, hit them with a fee, and then turn around and tell them, well, guess what? You can write it off because it harmed your business. It didn't harm your business. You harmed the consumers. So why should we give you a break for harming consumers because now your business has been impacted by the fine or the fee? Come on, Congress, get together with me. I can help you out. If anybody's listening who is able to talk to a congressional leader, I'm going to be doing that pretty soon. And that's going to be one of the sticking points that I'm going to be asking them. Why are we giving businesses such huge tax breaks and also giving them huge fines and fees that they can turn around and write off? You're not impacting, you're not hurting them. You're emboldening them to continue to keep doing these egregious things. Big oil. We already know barrels of oil through the roof. We already know that they're doing everything that they possibly can, capitalizing. They're doing everything that they possibly can to prevent new resources from coming to bear. New resources, what's wrong with wind? The wind ain't going nowhere. What's wrong with sun? The sun ain't going nowhere. What's wrong with water? What's wrong with these alternative resources that we could be tapping into? What? We can't retrain these individuals in the oil sector? We can't retrain individuals who are digging the nastiest coal with fracking? We can't retrain these individuals? We're not that capable of doing these things? Well, I would kind of agree with you, but probably not. We're probably not. The reason why I'm saying that is because if you think about the infrastructures in this country, horrible. I am so disappointed in Floridians, not the citizens, by no means, the Floridians who call themselves the elected officials. Disappointed. I'm just going to leave it there because I don't want to get into a tangent, but I'll talk about that later on another Another understanding. Big banks, we know what they're doing. Plundering, robbing, stealing. Oh, we need more, we need more, you need more what? You need more of our resources to trade on the stock markets, on the Dow and the NASDAQ? What, you need more of our money to put into those understandings? Is that what it is? You need more of our money to house in your financial institutions, and when I come to get that money, you're going to charge me $3 and $4 and $5 to get it from an ATM machine for them, the ATM person, and then you're going to charge me another dollar or two or three just to put in your pocket? You're scallywags, you're carnies, you're charlatans. You are the most unappreciated entity known to man because you do absolutely nothing but plunder, purge. That's all you do. You just steal. Give us nothing in return when we're giving you everything that we own, nearly. Nothing. We have to beg and plead for your product, even though you have our money in your institution. You can't even afford to have a 24-hour customer service where, again, the individual, please do not take this out of context, but the individual lives here in the United States. I have a problem when I'm talking to someone who keeps telling me, oh, I can't understand you. I can't understand you. Or me telling the other person, I can't understand you. Why are we pressing all of these options to get to somebody that's not going to understand us? And then they're going to get upset when we, again, are asking a question and we have to keep asking that question over and 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 over. No, you don't value us. And if you valued us, you'd be doing everything you possibly could to give us valued customer service. The banks, you're a problem. And last but not least is pharmaceuticals. Y'all are doing the same thing too. R&D doesn't cost that much. I'm sorry, doesn't cost that much. Doesn't cost that much. You don't have to keep raising your prices and claiming, and we can't do this, can't do that. You're gouging. You're a horrible, horrible, horrible entity that needs to be put in check. I'm glad that Biden did what he needed to do when it came to the insulin. Thank you so much, President. But there's still a lot more that needs to be done in these four major areas of BIGS: plundering, stealing, robbing. The theft of generational wealth is right here in these four entities. The theft of generational wealth of Black and brown is right here in these four entities. Stealing, theft. I don't need Congress any longer to keep telling me that we know what these guys are doing. I don't need Congress or Maxine Waters or Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren or Mitt Romney or McConnell. I don't need these individuals bringing them up to Congress to talk to them about what they're doing because, as I stated, slap on the wrist and you send them right back on out there to keep doing what they're doing. All right? Consumers, you have to get smarter now. You have to know who your true foe is. And now we have to either make them an ally or we have to make them non-existent. Oh, they think they're too big to fail. I don't think so. I don't think they're too big to fail. I think we're not big enough to tell them. You either get on the ball with the program that we're on, or guess what? We're going to stop investing our time and energy into your entities. It's just that simple. I don't have to go to the same grocery store. I can go to other grocery stores. We can shut down grocery stores. We can make them pay as well. We don't have to boycott. We don't have to do all that stuff. But we can just stop shopping. That's all we got to do. Stop shopping. We can stop putting our money into these financial institutions that's only giving us 0.03 in our checking or 0.04 in our savings. We can stop. We don't have to keep riding our cars. I walk. We can take public transportation that's using natural gas. We can use other alternatives. Make them pay. In pharmaceuticals, we already know. We need regulation for that. We get that understanding. But if our elected officials can't regulate these bodies, then we need to get new elected officials to regulate these bodies. I'm talking to Democrats. I'm talking to Republicans as well. I could care less about these MAGA people. I could care less about these MAGA people because they're not going to be around very much longer. Not saying in anything in the regards of harm or anything. No, I don't operate that way. I am a peaceful person. But they're going to burn their own bridges. And guess what? They're going to submerge right back into those little holes and crevices that they emerged from. And then they're going to lie dormant again until the next cycle comes around where they can poke that ugly head out and then try to rise to whatever occasion that they're attempting to rise to. Those are the bigs that we need to be concerned with. These are the entities that we have to now look at and go, if you're not helping, you're definitely hurting. It's just that simple. We can talk about other bigs that are also included into this. Unions. Unions, I'm thrown back. Again, I'm thrown back. I thought y'all were the middle class individual. I thought y'all was about making sure that middle class was built up through unions. And I'm disappointed about unions. I've had the opportunity of being part of 4 unions: flight attendant union, grocery union, carpenters union, now the teachers union. 4 unions. And I can honestly say I'm disappointed in all 4 of those unions as well. You operate on the same principle. Take advantage. You don't really know how to make money because you think making money off of our union dues, I guess, is going to take care of everything. No, there's other means in which you make money, but you're not helping everybody. You're only taking care of a select few, and that's how these seniority understandings work. We only take care of a select few. But if you're going to be a union, unite. All of us. Give us all that same attention. When there's a grievance, when there's a misunderstanding, when there's something, you got to take care of us. Stop being in the bed with those who you think is helping you and not helping everybody. Everybody. You need a union president? I'm right here. You need a union representative? I'm right here. You need somebody who can help you help your union? DM me. Call me. Call me. It's just a business person extending the opportunities of what I've been able to acquire over the years to help individuals, institutions serve their people in the manner in which they should be serving their people. It's just that's the way it is, folks. That's just the way it is. All right, let's talk about some regulations, because if you don't know about regulations, if you don't know you have rights, you don't have them. They're gone. They're gone. The Consumer Credit Protection Act of 1968, CCPA, is a federal legislation that creates protections for consumers from banks, credit card companies, and other lenders. All right, to protect you. You have rights. So stop thinking that you don't have any when you are addressing concerns with your banks, with third-party lenders that are reaching out saying, oh, you owe them now. There's so much engaged in this credit card understanding that if I sat you down for 10, 15, 20 minutes in a one-on-one or in group settings, if that's what we want, like we're doing here, trust me when I tell you, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. You're going to be pleasantly surprised. You're going to walk away with more understandings about, wow, I didn't know that. Just think about this. Part of what came out of this Consumer Credit Protection Act of 1968, Title III. Creditors who want to collect an outstanding debt from an individual would, under certain circumstances, be able to garnish the person's wages. In other words, the banks could deduct money from a person's paycheck to settle a past debt. This now protected you. They have to go through a process. And a lot of this was prior to that would allow for individuals to take money right out of your paycheck, right out of your bank account. And you would be thinking you got this much and all of a sudden it's now reduced. Well, thank God for legislation. We do have some things that we can thank Congress for, but they should be doing a much better job of enforcing this understanding. And they're not. The Fair Credit Reporting Act regulates the sharing, storing, and collection of consumers' credit and financial information. It was passed in 1970 to ensure the accuracy. Credit reports are not accurate. Period. Bottom line. Full stop. They're not accurate. This is supposed to be enforced to make them accurate. And if you know that your credit report might have a smidgen of an error and you're not addressing it, you're walking around with your zipper down. You're walking around with snot coming out your nose. You're walking around with slobber on your face. You're walking around with a hole in your pants if you're not addressing these understandings. You're driving on a flat tire if you're not addressing these understandings. You're about to run out of gas if you're not addressing these understandings. The Truth in Lending Act is a federal law designed to protect and help consumers who are borrowing via a loan or other credit products from a lender. It's there to protect you as well as the lender, but it's primarily there for you. There are rules and understandings that follow in these policies. And if you don't know them, you don't have the rights that are going to protect you. So you're going to fall victim. You're going to fall victim to any any lender. You're going to fall victim to any lender. All right? Time to wake up, folks. We got the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, which was enacted in 1974. Prohibits discrimination by creditors and lenders when evaluating a loan application for someone. Still going on today. It's still going on today. They're covering it up with other understandings, but it's still going on today. But if you took my advice, if you followed my recommendations, these laws that are there to help you will be strengthened by you. You get to challenge, not dispute. Stop using a word that's already setting you up for failure. You need to challenge your lenders who are coming after you for X, Y, and Z. I can tell you right now, they're not reporting as they should. They're not. So every single one of our credit reports are inaccurate. Remember what I told you about the Fair Credit Reporting Act? Accuracy, 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 accuracy. They're not accurate. Let's talk about this Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. Is a federal law that limits actions that third-party debt collectors can take. It limits them. They have a certain understanding, statute of limitations. They have a certain understanding. You don't owe a third party at all. Why? Because they bought your debt. Unless you sign a contractual understanding with that third party, then you owe them. If you don't, you still don't owe them. The first party is who you owe. The first party should renegotiate, but the first party already knows, well, if I keep this open, possible lenders or investors don't want to see a bunch of debt on my books, so they're going to sell that debt to a third party. You do not owe a third party. I'll say it again. You do not owe a third party. There's something called the bad debt deduction. Bad debt deduction. We're going to dive into that, but not today, obviously. There are multiple other understandings. You have so much to protect you, but we're not doing our part. Electronic Funds Transfer Act, the Fair Credit Billing Act, Regulation B, Regulation Z, Equal Credit Opportunities Act, the definition. And again, what does it mean to be in default? A default happens when a borrower fails to make required payments on a debt, whether of interest or principal. Okay? And a lot of us are finding ourselves defaulting. But there's ways of navigating around these understandings from impacting your credit so severe that you go from a 7 to a 5, that you go from an 8 to a 6, that you go from these impressively high numbers, all due to circumstances that are in your control, and then you drop beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most impressive times of my life. Again, my name is Tyrone Glover. I am the CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. Here's some contact details. My telephone number is 805-428-9424. I have a new Linktree. If you do not know about Linktree, go to Linktree. This is the coolest thing in the whole wide world. It allows for you to link multiple things together. My Linktree is Linktree or linktr.ee/Leverage Credit Recovery, and my email, leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. We need to talk, people. We need to talk. We need to talk. We need to stay on point. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully, your next 3 months will be profitable than the last 9 months. All right. If not, it might be time to get a credit coach. Thank you, everybody, for the understanding. Thank you, everybody, for giving me the time. I appreciate you immensely. Everybody have a great, this is Yom Kippur, if I'm not mistaken. That's coming up. So we have a day off tomorrow. Stay blessed, everybody. I love you. Be safe.